Hello, wonderful people out there in San Francisco. My name is Trayvon Smith, and you are tuned into YouthLINE Live. How is everybody doing today? You guys, the heat lately has been really draining me, and I always tend to talk at the beginning of every show about the weather, but you guys, it's been record-breaking heat here in San Francisco, and I just don't know what to do with that. But besides the fact, if you guys are new to our show, we air every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on channel 76, straight out here in San Francisco. So don't forget to check us out. And also go to our website, youthlinemedia.org, to check out anything else that YouthLINE has to offer, such as our zine and where to find our past TV shows if you want to catch up and see what we're about. Go head over there after the show and check it out. And I'm going to say it at the end in case you forget. All right? Okay. So as you can tell by the screen today's show is about procrastination and study tips. Now, you guys, school is here. At first, it was just a thought. Summer was just thriving. I mean, not everyone had a good summer 17. I had a okay summer 17. But besides the whole fact, school is here. And I know that if you're anything like me, who have teachers that pile up the homework like you don't have any other life but school, because school is life to them, they want it to be your life, then you need to learn how to not procrastinate, not how to put stuff off, and to have some type of study tips to help you get through all of the coursework or whatever that you need to get through. If you're anything like me, I have a lot of reading. I gotta read 6 to 7 books a week, a chapter from each of them, which I guess is equivalent to one book. But enough about me. Let's just get more into it. And also, if you are a person, or can't talk to you guys, if you are a working person, these can pertain to you as well. You know, when you have to meet deadlines at work, or when you have so much on your plate, this is a way that you can kind of manage it if your workplace allows it. So I'm gonna try to keep things a little broad. Some might be towards more so school, and some might be more so towards the workplace, but nonetheless, I hope these tips help you guys. Okay. The first thing that I'll suggest when you're studying, when you get to the study part, is study and read in 20-minute increments. Because if you are a person like me, and I'm always going to refer back to me because I don't see no one else here but you guys, you get distracted easily, or after 20 minutes, you're ready to just go to sleep. You might fall asleep while reading, or you're ready to just go get some food or something. So I suggest that you pace yourself, 20-minute increments. Read for 20 minutes. Give yourself a 5-10-minute break. Study something else for 20 minutes. Give yourself a 5 to 10-minute break. And I think that you'll get through it so much better, because think about it. You're reading in 20-minute increments versus reading for hours. It's an ongoing cycle of things, and you don't want to stress yourself out, because I think the stress overpowers more so the coursework. Sometimes it's just the fact that you're thinking about it, all the stuff that you have to think about. It could stress you out more than the coursework will stress you out itself. You guys, I wish I brought my books so you guys can see them, so you guys can relate, just in case you're watching this and actually on the same page. But yeah, another thing that you can also do is set goals for yourself and set rewards for yourself. Now, when you set goals for yourself, say that you want to study for 2 hours per week, or 2 hours a day for 5 days a week. And so you're studying in them 20-minute increments, and you're getting your 5 and 10-minute breaks in. And you actually get through it for the whole 2 hours, minus the breaks, or whatever, however you want to do it. I will reward myself. I will go get myself a cookie or something, or something that will make you feel good, make you feel like you actually did something. Because once you do reward yourself and you treat yourself for doing what you need to do, then doesn't it feel good? You should try it. Because every time I study in 20-minute increments, I reward myself with, going to get some food or something. I really love cake. It's a bad thing. Don't eat too much cake, you guys. But reward yourself in some type of way. Maybe, give yourself a day off if you have enough or something like that from studying, if you feel like you studied enough or something. So that's one way to do it. And also make sure that you have a time goal, because if you don't have a time goal, then where's the finish line when you're starting? You know, like, you gotta really know where you're going with what you're studying. Like, set yourself up for, like, okay, I'm gonna study for 2-3 hours today, or I'm gonna study for half an hour and go to the store, come back, study for half an hour. Just make sure you set yourself a time goal for when you're studying. And also make sure that's realistic. If you're a type of person that can only study without getting a headache for like 2 hours, and you're trying to study for 5 hours a day, and you have other things that you have to do, like you have to work, or you have to go to the store, take care of someone else in your life, etc., 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 then I would definitely, set something realistic for you. Like only set yourself for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then go do what you have to do. Study the next day, or if you feel like that you have free time and you want to just look at something that's easy enough for you to look at, I'll do so too. Also remember, and this goes for the workplace and this goes for school, whatever it goes for both. Make sure that you balance the levels of work from heavy to light, so you can make sure that everything is smooth and goes how you want to go. So make sure that you do the heaviest work first. Make sure that, it depends on what you want to do. If you do the heaviest work first, then it kind of gets the load off of you and you leave the light work for last and just get through it. Or some people do the light work first and they just leave the heavy for last. But it depends on your stamina and depends on what you want to do as a person when you're studying or when you're doing that work. When you have, let's say you're a case manager, you got all them case files stacked up, or let's say that you just work at an office job and they make you do a lot of data, and on the side you have to deal with people around the area of where you're working at. Or if you're a college student studying and you have to read about, like me, 6 books, a chapter a week, and actually do homework and work and be a producer for you guys, then things can get a little hectic. So make sure that you set your work from heaviest to lightest, or lightest to heaviest, or however you want the cycle to go. Also, remember to take care of yourself. Now, you gotta be realistic of what you need. Please don't study like full course study and you don't have like no water, you're dehydrated, or you don't have no food or anything like that. And I know San Francisco economy can be hard because we barely can afford to live here and stuff like that. But make sure that you take care of yourself in the best way possible, because if you don't, then there's going to be some serious precautions in your health. Take my word for it. Another thing that, it benefits me for when I study is study in a quiet place. Wait, I'm trying to speak English. But study in a quiet place. If you study in a quiet place, it's better for you to focus, unless you're one of them people that need like loud music or a loud city, urban environment to study, then do you. But I highly suggest studying in a place that, basically, when I say quiet place, I mean a place that you're free from distraction. Because I know, let's say for instance, if I study at my house, I got people all over, they're going to ask me for something, or I'm going to feel like the need to, branch off and do something else. Maybe the TV is on Wendy Williams or something, and I just want to look at her little hot topics or whatever she's talking about, or whatever I'm doing throughout the day in the house, and I'm trying to study at the same time. It's not going to work for me. If I'm at work and I have to work I'm not supposed to be studying as it is. If I'm at work and I have to try to squeeze that into my breaks or something like that, it's not going to be effective to you. You're not going to really gain too much information from that. But make sure you study in a quiet place. That's what your local library is for. If you look up SF Library, there's a whole different set of libraries in pretty much every neighborhood that you can study at. So I will look into that. Also, I know what I like to do is sometimes I'll need a quiet environment, but not too quiet, because quiet scares me. Low key, we're not gonna go into that too much, but I like to go over to Dolores Park at a certain time where it's not very hostile, to just sit there and read and just soak in the sun or the breeze, whatever is going in, and just do my work and having something nice. I like to have like a Starbucks drink with me or something, and that's my form of a reward to reward myself for just getting the studying done. You get what I'm saying? Also, another thing that you should do is make sure that you set yourself a study deadline that's realistic to you, besides the deadline that the teacher actually gives you. Now, let's say that you were assigned a paper today and you have 3 weeks to turn it in, hypothetically speaking, and then do 3 weeks from today, which is Tuesday at 6 p.m. So, what I would do is I would set myself a deadline to get it done 2 days in advance, so that gives me enough time to, breathe before I get to the class, to turn in the work or to look anything over and see if I need to fix anything or something like that. So make sure that you set yourself a deadline for when you are, studying, so you can get everything done, get everything together, and make sure that you get the information, as good as possible. Also, make sure you study at times that are convenient for you, and make sure that you are studying at that time to where you won't procrastinate because it's hard. Let's say that you gotta wake up in the morning at like 7 in the morning to be somewhere at a certain time, and you go through your day and everything piles up and you get booked and busy like I be all the time. You just want to be realistic of your time management skills, which everyone needs, to scheduling those study times. If you know in the back of your head that you're at work and you get an hour lunch one day, not to say that you need to study at work, but you can leave and come back or something like that, and you're in enough of a peaceful mindset to where you can read something over like a cup of coffee or something like that, then I would do so. But don't study at work in that work environment. You only have like a 15-minute, 30-minute break. That's not really going to work for you. You're not going to gain a lot. Or, for example, like you're at school and you're already there, soaking in all the education, and you don't have nothing to do for the afternoon. You stay in your school's library or go to a local library and study. Maybe bring some friends with you if you have friends that go to college with you or high school. Or even at work if you are overstressed. And, of course, there's times where you have to do your work because, of course, some people have a 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, whatever. Make sure that, that you're doing it at a pace that works for you. Set the times to get something done that works for you. And I know deadlines can be hefty at some jobs, but do what's best for you. And my number one motto, stay real, stay true to yourself, and take care of yourself. That's really important, you guys. Another tip is to, don't harness the fear of getting stuff done, because that's more, like I said earlier, that's more dawning on you than the actual work itself. You can have 5 books to read, but you might not read them because you're so, in your feelings about reading the book, or reading the books or doing the coursework or getting these deadlines done, and you might not do it in general. So you just want to make sure that you actually get to them and try to, lower down your fear. Do different exercises. Maybe you just need to go and take a breather and get your mind right. Go somewhere that you can just clear your mind. Breathe. Maybe do few exercises. I don't suggest reading after you exercise because I'll be tired. But, do a little exercises, little stretches, little lunges, little over the hand stretches, back to forth, breathe. Think positive thoughts to get yourself back in the mood to do stuff. Because I know that if I'm feeling a little, tense on the inside from studying, or having to study so much, or having to study a certain amount that I really don't feel like it's necessary to study, or I don't want to in general, I'll just, go and breathe and just relax, because I know that for me, in order for me not to procrastinate, in order for me not to, lack off of studying, I need to just breathe and be in a good mindset for the most part, because I can't be mad at anybody. I can't be stressing about school. Can't be stressing about work. Can't be stressing about Billy Bob Joe and Ken. You just gotta really just focus on yourself and your self worth and your energy and what you need to feel like to get done. Like I'm a very intuitive, feeling type of person. I'm really in my feelings all the time. So not in a bad way, like I'm so moody, but sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not. I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, like just make sure that you're feeling good when you're studying, and Practice breathing, get you some tea, love yourself when you're doing it. Maybe sign up for some yoga classes if you have time within your time management schedule. 'Cause things can get hard out here for a worker and a college student. Make sure that you build accountability for yourself while you're doing that, because if you don't, then it's not going to work for you at all. If you don't hold yourself accountable to what you have to do, then you failed yourself. Like you're the whole field here. You have to hold yourself accountable for what you have to get done. So if you don't hold yourself accountable for what you have to get done, then the time management and everything I said before, it's not going to work for you. I'm sorry, but you have to hold yourself accountable. And I'm working on that myself, because it tends to be hard to balance a lot of different things in my life, from work, from school, and from studying, and actually focusing on studying. So I always try to hold myself accountable, and I don't want to ever, slack off from what I have to do, because I tend to be like, oh, I have this essay due in a few days. I'll be like, oh, I can get it done. I'm just going to go and hang out with friends. Casually doesn't come in until 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. Don't be a Trayvon. Don't do that. Don't do that. Always make sure that you hold yourself accountable. So I'm holding myself accountable for, the studying I have to do and the work that I have to do at work. And you should hold yourself accountable too, because you are your worst critic. Cause it's all about how you take things, how you do things within your own self. And also, also remember to have positive people around you when you're done studying, so you can celebrate with everyone. It's like, okay, you can celebrate with yourself, and that's good to a certain extent, because that shows self-love, self-preservation, self-motivation. You're doing everything for yourself. But it's good to have a low-key, celebration with everyone else that you did something. It doesn't have to be like a party or something because you're done studying. I mean, be realistic. You can be like, okay, I'm done studying. Yay, friends, you want to go out for a salad or something? You want to go out for something to eat, something to drink, or whatever you're into? Let's go out and do something for just a little bit. Just hang out. To just, feel appreciative of yourself that you studied and you got through it, and that you didn't procrastinate. And also leaning more so into, because I feel like I haven't touched on procrastination more than I've touched on study habits. So as far as the procrastination side, the most common reasons why people don't when people procrastinate is that it's because basically stuff might be too much for them at the moment, or it might be too much for them to fathom at the moment, to think about at the moment. B, they're not interested in anything that you're doing, or what they're learning, or what they're working on, or whatever it is. Or C, it's hard for them to do and they don't want to ask for help, or whatever it is. And there's other reasons why, but that's the 3 main reasons why. In my book, I'm going to address C first. Please ask for help if you need help. If you ever feel like that you can't ask for help from somebody else, that's a problem. It's either that it's coming from you, or it's coming from the other person, or maybe you just feel like you can, or you're just a very independent person that doesn't want to ask for help and want to learn things on your own and bump your head. And that's fine too, but it doesn't work in all situations. If you feel like that you need help with anything, whatever it is, that homework, studying, at work, you don't know what to do, talk to your supervisor, talk to your teachers, talk to your counselors, talk to some tutors, go talk to someone that can help you, stay on track, so you won't procrastinate, in that sense, because you don't feel, that you want to ask for help. To address B, basically, that someone else is just making you feel like that you can't, basically that, like, you feel like that you can't work on it because it's too much for you at the moment. Sometimes you just gotta come back to earth. Remember the breathing things I just told you. Just breathe. And, you in a clear head, in a fed stomach, you will know exactly what you have to do to get through it. And I highly suggest, studying with other people. Like I said, go study with other people, see counselors, or whatever you have to do to, get through what you have to get through. Because I know it's going to be hard for me alone, reading all those books. What I usually do, and here's some tips. If you're in college, If you're in high school, most likely you already have friends in your class. But if you're in college, sign up for classes with friends. It's better. If y'all all going through the struggle together and you don't feel alone. And you also can study with someone else because you guys are learning similar material, if not the same material. So I would study with friends, and that's a good thing. In high school, if you have class with your friends, link up with your friends, hang out with them, to do the work that you have to do. And I know high school is kind of forced upon many people, at least where we're at in San Francisco, by the law, because you really do need an education, but it feels forced, right? And it's very brought to you in a way that more so feeds you the information rather than learning and making it more interactive for you guys. So what I would do is, just hang with friends and try to make it as fun as possible. I've seen youth. I don't know what you call. I'm gonna call them teenagers. Teenagers, and around me that do a lot of fun stuff that I wish that I did in high school. I mean, they was hanging at like Wingstop or something, or they'll hang out like restaurants I've never heard of that look delicious and stuff like that. And that goes back to the rewarding yourself type thing. If y'all all study together, you all do what you have to do. After you're done, reward yourself in the process. And it feels good to do it with other people. And once y'all all accomplish the goals that you have to do together, it's the greatest feeling in the world. But that is it for my show. Well, our show today. Why did I say my show? I'm not taking ownership. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. Hopefully I didn't stumble too much over my words. I tried to get as much information to you guys as possible. If you guys want to catch up on YouthLINE, don't forget YouthLineMedia.org. Like I said before, don't forget, my name is Trayvon Smith. You have been tuning into YouthLINE Live, and we'll see you next week. Bye.